Hey guys, back here again at the table. This time we're with Dr. Jamie and with Dr. Isaiah. They are the founders of X-Fit Lab here across in Milford, as well as a chiropractor, as well as a naturopath. Anything else you got on your?
A few others.
Few others. We're actually talking about goals. Isaiah and I were having a conversation earlier, and he had a great story to share about goals. And I think the outline of this story is retained very well to some of the topics we have in the gym. So I'm going to let Isaiah kick it off.
So, what we do in Fit Lab is we give you some numbers, right? And the basis of those numbers is to help you improve yourself. So, where we are in our lives with our goals. So, we have a 4-year-old daughter who has been trying to learn how to wink for the past 3 or 4 months. And to watch that progression is something phenomenal, because you get caught up with life and you forget that goals don't always have to be complicated. They don't always have to have a lot of ideas or things. They just have to be one idea and you try to go for it. So with that said, watching her progress through these stages of smiling really hard to get her eyes and then actually attempting to wink, it makes you take a step back to look at yourself and reflect. So much can be learned from our children as far as goal setting and where we're at in our life.
Yeah.
Sure, I can comment on that one too. I actually use the analogy a lot when I'm working with clients of running a marathon, and I'll say, you can decide that you want to run the New York City Marathon, but that doesn't mean that you can run it. Can you run a mile? Can you run 10 miles? Can you run 15? So you can decide to run the marathon, but before you can actually run the marathon, there are so many steps that come before that, which plays off of what Isaiah just said. It's really about understanding the step or the goal before the goal. And I think we lose sight of that. So, I work with a lot of people with weight management, and they're like, I need to lose X amount of pounds. And it's like, that can be the ultimate goal, but what do we do before that? How do we nourish our body? How do we create success by meeting smaller numbers and hitting those smaller numbers, succeeding, and moving on to the next one?
Yeah, I think that if you look at Rick Saban, who's one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, I wrote on this on Instagram a while back, and the reason why I really enjoyed Isaiah's story is because the underlying factor with your guys' daughter is the process. Meaning, she comes in every day to learn how to wink, and it's okay, what's the one small thing we can focus on today to try to achieve this focus? It's not like, hey, we need to wink, right? And I think that pertains to fitness and what we do, whether it's nutrition, whether it's trying to get better, whether it's trying to move better, whether it's trying to improve numbers, is that you can't look at A of where you are and then Z of where you want to be and just think about Z. Because if you only think about that, then every day is going to feel daunting and overwhelming, right? Just like a child. Like if a child comes in and all you say is the final thing, then they I don't even know what to do. They have to keep it simple and you have to keep it one step at a time. And it's almost like we can relate to that as a process, where if you can come in and just focus and relate to that one process, that one thing you can do that day to get you up 1 inch closer to your goal, then eventually you're going to reach your goal, right?
Absolutely.
So,
he always says to me, when I get overwhelmed, because I do, he always says, how to eat an elephant.
One bite at a time.
Piece by piece.
Yeah, and I think that's what's key. So when you guys come in here, when you're trying to get healthy, when you're trying to move better, when you're trying to improve your numbers, whether you're trying to lose some weight, whether you're trying to get fitter, stronger, the one thing you got to focus on is the piece-by-piece process every single day. And when you can just rely and focus on just that, that's when you're going to have an easier path to reach your goals.
Live in the moment.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. We're going to delete the whole high five off the video because that was a little off. All right. Coming to you next week.